EggsD versus Skink.
Alright, if Skink doesn't footstool... Yeah. He doesn't footstool him, then the match isn't canon.
Now, these two have played quite a bit in the past. Like, they played like last semester when Ultimate first came out. We were roommates together, and now they're playing again. So, yep. Both these players very familiar with what they're capable of, character-wise and player-wise. Hopefully, we'll see a good match. But these matches tend to get a little bit drawn out between these two, if my memory serves me well.
I could definitely see that happen. Skink is more so a defensive player because Luigi just has a character like really lacks solid approach options. He's more so of like a walling character. His fast frame did it to always maintain a hitbox in front of him. And like EggsD is typically a player who's a little more reserved, tries to bait out his opponent, but Skink is also an extremely good player at doing so.
Yeah, just looking at Luigi as a character, I don't know how he makes like a lot of these matchups work, but Tony, like I think really good grasp on the Yoshi matchup.
Yeah, it's just the establishment of like threat is so constant around Luigi that like just by walking forward, he kind of like creates a scenario where the opponent feels like they're obligated to guess.
And for some reason, everybody seems obligated to like approach Luigi willy-nilly when he has a lot of backward space to work with him.
That's the thing, right? Is that like you don't want to think that like Luigi is like a good character, and that's kind of like the way you need to approach matchups against a lot of like worse characters. Is you need to abuse where they're weak, but like the way you would abuse where Luigi's weak is to just not be close to him ever, which is like pretty weird to think about.
All right, but he's gonna get. I think he knows that Yoshi can maybe double jump out of his combo, so going for a little bit of a shorter combo there with the fair.
Yep.
Right. In spite of what we say about Skink, he's really keen to like when you want to like do his strategy and like utilize the backward space. Yep. He's just real.
I mean, you can see it, right? Like Skink is slowly walking his opponent down into the corner so that they feel like they need to get out, and then he tries to read their escape option.
And Skink has discussed this with me on many occasions, and he's showing it in this match that he really hates like how people dash attacks willy-nilly without thinking, and then he just dash attacks you. He's like, you're moving without like thinking at all. I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean,
he's really good at making people seem stupider than they really are.
The thing is that like there's a lot of intentionality that is important in order to like communicate to the opponent like I'm gonna hit you. But like if you're just doing it clearly and you're not like accomplishing anything, he's gonna call you out on it.
Yeah, I think everything that we've said so far is the reason why Skink is now up 2 stocks in this match.
Yep. Doing a really good job of like invading EggsD's space and like trying to bait out approaches, and like EggsD's like fighting pretty consistently. He needs to be more willing to either overextend his approach or to just kind of be more chill.
It's strange because like he's not getting that much off of the grabs, which is like a kind of staple in Luigi. He's just getting like these straight hits and straight conversions on Yoshi, which is, you know, I think really hard to do, and like I think a conduit to why like Skink is like one of our more talented players.
I think one other thing to keep in mind is that like Luigi is a character who has absurd hitboxes and frame data, and like Yoshi like prides himself on being so capable of fighting people up close with his frame data. Mm-hmm. So like meeting a character who can match that sort of up close game.
I think this is gonna be it. I don't think he's got it. Oh no, perfect. Perfect sneaking under the down tilt, like the little bit of the dead zone.
Yeah, barely makes it. The down tilt, Nair's out, so there's no tech chase scenario.
Alright, EggsD gonna get his first stock off of Skink here, but is it too little too late is the question.
Throws himself onto the ledge. I don't know exactly how I feel about that option. Skink definitely taking a more of an aggressive approach here, knowing that EggsD at a high percent is going to try and play more reserved.
Yeah, Luigi, as long as like you don't land on him, like I think that playing around like what he uses to kill you is not super complicated. You just gotta pay attention to whenever he lands, and up throw, not gonna be able to do it. Maybe the next one, who knows?
Yeah.
Definitely the next back throw, anywhere that's like not the middle stage, maybe.
Yep. EggsD trying to go for a grab there, but unfortunately does not count for the fact Luigi's floaty, and no DI on the up throw.
Yoink up into the air, Skink gonna take the first game. And a pretty dominant game at that. Like, Skink just playing that matchup to a T.
Yep.
EggsD's gotta probably figure something out. Like, we might see the switch to Mii Brawler, to be perfectly honest.
EggsD just... What he really needs to do is kind of change his the timing of like how he's like selecting options, because Skink seems to just have like a really good download on like forcing him to do, not forcing him, but like baiting him to do options and then Skink is just positioning.
Playing these
himself
two
into
players
a
a lot myself, like I think that like they have very similar playstyles, but Skink just has, you know, like you said, that more intentionality behind everything he does.
Right.
A very good awareness of like when it's time to like switch up what he does, and it seems like we're actually getting a tune. Hello?
Well, I know EggsD has been trying to work on this Toon Link.
It's funny because Skink also has a Toon Link, so if he loses this, we might see a Toon Link ditto,
Yeah.
which I'm not looking forward to if that is in the future.
Oh my.
And taking it to Smashville as well, definitely wants to control pretty much the entire stage with just these projectiles. Like Boomerang goes across like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the stage. Bomb just really good at keeping out. That's super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Wow, he was at like the very like edge of where like he wasn't able to like gain any height because of the stage. A little bit
Nice
tech
back
coming
throw.
out.
I do have to wonder about this stage choice only because Toon Link is kind of a character who needs a lot of space to set up bombs and boomerangs, but Smashville is like the shortest stage on their stage. So I have to wonder about the pick here, but maybe it's like a comfort thing. Always a valid.
But Skink just doing a good job holding center stage now. Like, this is what he's, like, talking about. Like, yeah, he has got a lot of, like, stage warfare, but he's not going to, like, you know, give that up in order to, like, relieve the pressure or whatever.
Right.
He only does it, like, when it's time. Oh, wow. Actually gets the conversion off of his own bomb explosion.
You know, I mean, like, that's the experience, right? He plays Toon Link 2. He knows that the bomb is going to explode. He knew.
Dude, Skink with the matchup knowledge coming out.
And the pivot grab coming out.
All right, and the big
Is he
damage.
dead?
Oh, no, he tried to go for the up tilt. I know he doesn't exactly like going for the 0 to death if he doesn't have to. Like, if he has like a lead like this, he just goes for the damage. He wants to play a little bit more. Skink, definitely a fan of like prologuing games, but EggsD trying to prolong it in his favor as long as he can.
Yep.
Getting that stock off. Right, but EggsD with a very controlling lead right now, just keeping EggsD in a terrible position here.
Definitely.
I think. Okay, he's gonna be able to make it back. Wow, and there into down B, and that's gonna be it.
Yep.
Skink with the double 2-stock coming out on EggsD. That was probably the quickest set that we've had all day.
Yeah, ironic considering how we
Yeah, ironic, like how we started out. I'm like, oh, they usually have like prolonged sets, but you know, Skink telling me otherwise. Skink's like, man, I did all my camping and squash. Like,